Welcome everyone, Scurv here, the Scurv podcast. Visibility in this world has increased. I can't even say tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold, and we make it easier for that to happen. The reason being, once again, my favorite whipping boy, social media. We forget that in the beginning, when social media came out, people took to it like a duck to water. But if you can remember, there were many people whose knee-jerk reaction was that they did not want to tell their business. There are people from back at that time also who didn't trust online banking. They said, no. I need to go to the bank to take care of my banking needs. But those same people who wanted to maintain their privacy and not tell their business are some of the biggest people posting every personal detail of their lives. Those same people who saw how easy it was to do online banking changed their mind about getting up, getting in the car, and going down to the bank. How funny is that? So because of the acceptance of social media and the ability to post what's happening in your life, the goalposts have been moved and the rules have changed. And now we find very few people who refuse to show a bit of their lives up to their entire life for their friends and family and inner circle to see, without realizing that you also have total strangers following you. That being said, we know in human nature that we have people who love to show off what they've accomplished, what they have, for different reasons. It's not always sinister. It could be that these people who may have just graduated college, gotten a new raise or position on their job, or purchased a new car, or hit a new fitness level. They dropped a lot of body fat and they got muscular. Whatever it may be, the people sharing these things are not always showing off. But we have to understand that we have a great amount of people that are showing off. Now, when people show off, meaning they brag about what they have, they can do it outright or low key. There are many reasons for this. Many people who brag a lot are usually jealous of someone else when they achieve something or attain something. Well, that's their way of trying to stoke the same fires in you when they share the new level that they're on. Not always, but it's a full range. From those who brag because they want to try to get you jealous, all the way down to those who are genuinely feeling good about it, thinking you're going to feel good about it. But then again, oftentimes, the person who feels good about their achievements, because they will feel good for you when you achieve something, they're judging the world by the state of their own mind. And you know how I feel about that. A thief is going to think people are stealing from them because he's judging the world by the state of his own mind. A gossip is going to swear up and down that you were whispering about them when they caught two people that they know talking that changed the conversation when they showed up. They had to be gossiping about me because they gossip. The bad part is that the world is not such a perfect place. Every smile you see doesn't mean that the person smiling feels good for you. So how do we tell? How do I prove all that I just said? I can't prove it, but we know it's there by what we see happening with the interactions of people, not only in social media, but in real life. Me, I keep away from all of it. I've been basically a hermit, recluse, and I couldn't feel any better because I don't have to deal with the junk that's floating around on social media. I love my peace. It hasn't always been peaceful as much as I could, but when I got rid of a lot of the people around me with these feelings and these thoughts, and they want this, they want that, they want status, they want visibility, they whole different ball game. Well, I call this, as far as not bragging about what you have or not showing out what you have, whether it's to make other people jealous or whether it's just something that you sincerely feel because you think others feel good for you, which is not always the case. I call it strategic invisibility. The new law of power in a loud world, and nobody can dispute that this world is loud. Your phone has taken over your mind. I'm not saying everybody, but for those where this fits. I can't even say minute, every few seconds, if you have downloaded certain apps on your phone, there's information being updated and a lot of stuff you probably wouldn't be interested in at all, but it keeps coming. And actually, it's very annoying. And I'm going through a period of downsizing the apps that I have. I'm really considering getting rid of certain platforms like Instagram, Facebook. I have no access to. I just started a new page just for personal friends in the inner circle. If I don't know you, I'm not adding you in. And just going to what I need to go to. I have no problem with someone who achieves something in life. But as far as the gossip about those types of people, I don't need that in my life. And the overwhelming tsunami of useless information and the people that bring it, I don't need that overload. My circuits were constructed to handle up to a certain amount of load in them. If you overload, you're walking around numb. You'll walk around and the day will go by so quick because you have so much bombarding your brain. You don't have to look at all of it. But as far as the topic is concerned, strategic invisibility, you get down with this and you'll have more peace. Because the moment you show them what you have, you give them the map to take it away. Every time you post a win, flash a lifestyle, or reveal your next move, you think you are building status. You're not. You're building a target. You're giving the world a clear signal of where to aim. Attention feels like power, but it's not. It's exposure. And exposure always comes with a cost. You can believe that. Every time you celebrate publicly, you trade security for a short hit of validation. A few likes, A few comments, a few empty compliments from people who would never protect you when it matters. You call it confidence, but it's really hunger. Hunger for approval, hunger for recognition, hunger to feel important in a world that measures worth by visibility instead of substance. You were taught that success should be shared, that wins should be displayed, that progress should be posted. But nobody taught you that visibility attracts more enemies than allies. And not just outright enemies, but people who want to use you, scam you, suck from you, suck your life force. Nobody taught you that when people know your position, they start planning how to replace you, bypass you, or benefit from you. Power does not die when it's challenged. Power dies when it becomes loud. The loudest person in the room is not the strongest. They are not the most insecure. They're the most dependent on attention. They are the easiest to manipulate. Real power does not perform. It observes. It waits. It moves quietly. This is the shift. Not toward hiding out of fear, but toward silence as strategy. Not shrinking, but controlling information. Not disappearing, but becoming untouchable. The goal is not to impress the crowd. The goal is to protect your future. Showing off does not build respect. It builds surveillance. When you display your wins, people, for the most part, do not see inspiration. They see opportunity. Some see a resource. Some see a rival. Some see a threat. Some see something they want. You think you're sharing your success, but what you're really doing is distributing information about your position in the hierarchy. The first leak is money. The moment you show income, assets, or lifestyle upgrades, people stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as a resource. You become the one who can pay, the one who can help, the one who should give. Financial visibility turns you into a walking target for expectations, entitlement, and pressure. You're no longer respected. You're audited. The second leak is relationships. When you show your private life, you turn it into public property. Comparison begins. Envy begins. Judgment begins. People who are unhappy start searching for cracks in what you have. You place something sacred on a public stage and act surprised when it is attacked. The third leak is vision. This is the most dangerous one. When you talk about your plans before they are finished, you remove surprise. You give people time to prepare. You give competitors time to move. You give doubters time to plant fear. You give obstacles time to form. You turn momentum into resistance. Visibility feels like progress, but it is not progress. It is performance. It's image management. It's dopamine. It makes you feel productive while slowing you down. It gives you the reward before the result, and that kills execution. People, for the most part, don't want you to fail, but they also do not want you to surpass them. Most people are comfortable with you doing well, as long as you're not doing better than them. The moment you cross that invisible line, support turns into silence. Silence turns into distance. And distance turns into quiet resistance. This is how sabotage works in real life. It's not loud. It's not direct. It's very subtle. It's jokes disguised as concern. It's advice disguised as protection. It's distance disguised as busyness. It's doubt disguised as realism. The more visible you are, the more predictable you become. The more predictable you become, the easier you are to stop. Silence is not weakness. Silence is leverage. When people do not know your position, they cannot plan against it. When people do not know your moves, they can't block them. When people underestimate you, they stop watching you. This is where freedom begins. Strategic invisibility is not about pretending to be small. It's about controlling what people know. It's about protecting momentum. It's about keeping your progress private until it's permanent. It's about moving without interference. When you stop showing off, something powerful happens. Pressure disappears. Comparison disappears. Performance anxiety disappears. You stop living for reactions and start living for results. Your energy shifts from proving to building, from performing to executing, from looking successful to becoming successful. Silence protects speed. Silence protects focus. Silence protects direction. The less people know, the fewer opinions you have to carry. The fewer opinions you carry, the clearer your mind becomes. The clearer your mind becomes, the faster you move. You do not need applause. You need alignment. You do not need validation. You need discipline. You do not need attention. You need structure. Attention creates noise. Noise creates delay. Delay kills momentum. The strongest position in any system is being underestimated. When people think you are average, they stop preparing for you. When they think that you're stagnant, they stop tracking you. When they think you're harmless, they stop guarding against you. This is not about ego. This is about survival. This is about control. This is about protecting your future from unnecessary friction. Real power moves in silence and arrives as a finished fact. Not an announcement, not a teaser, not a preview, a result. Talking about your goals feels productive, but it replaces action. It gives your brain the reward without the work. It creates the illusion of progress. It weakens drive. It drains urgency. Execution works best in isolation. Growth works best in privacy. Transformation works best without witnesses. When you work quietly, there is no pressure to perform, only pressure to produce. The shadow strategy is simple. You stop talking about what you're building. You stop advertising your progress. You stop signaling your moves. You let outcomes speak instead of intentions. You move from "I'm about to" "it's done." You move from "I'm working on it" to "it's finished." You move from "I'm planning" to "it's built." By the time people notice a change, it's already rooted. By the time they understand the shift, it's already stable. By the time they react, it's already too late. This creates psychological dominance, not through fear, but through unpredictability. People cannot track what they cannot see. They cannot stop what they cannot predict. They cannot compete with what they do not understand. The shadow is not hiding. The shadow is positioning. The real change is not external. It's internal. It's the moment you stop needing approval to feel real. The moment you stop needing recognition to feel valuable. The moment you stop needing attention to feel powerful. When validation becomes optional, freedom becomes possible. When attention becomes irrelevant, control becomes natural. When image becomes meaningless, identity becomes stable. You stop reacting to opinions. You stop correcting perceptions. You stop managing narratives. You stop feeding the crowd. You become self-contained, internally driven, externally neutral, emotionally anchored, mentally quiet. You stop living for reactions and start living for outcomes. You stop performing success and start building security. You stop chasing visibility and start creating leverage. This is sovereignty, not dominance over others, but control over self. Not power over people, but power over direction. The world rewards noise, we know that. But noise attracts predators. Silence attracts nothing. And that's the point. Nothing watching you, nothing tracking you, nothing planning against you. You do not need to be seen to be powerful. You need to be positioned. You do not need to be known. You need to be prepared. You do not need recognition. All you need is results. The loud path feels exciting, but it's fragile. The quiet path feels boring, but it's unbreakable. One builds image, the other builds infrastructure. You were never meant to live as a performance. You were meant to live as a system, stable, protected, focused, controlled. When you stop showing off, you stop bleeding information. When you stop bleeding information, you stop feeding threats. When you stop feeding threats, you start building in peace. The strongest person in the room is not the one speaking. It's the one no one's watching. I hope you grasp those words, because even myself, I've always been involved in things that brought attention to myself. I didn't seek this attention out. Again, I'm going to say, when I first got online as an artist, just drawing pictures and writing articles, I put them out in a faceless way. That's all that was available at that time. But with many interviews came interest in what I did, and more visibility. Then YouTube came along and it got out there more. So now you're more of a target. You have people, and you have a good platform, a big platform, which this one's not big, and I really am not pushing for it to get big. I want interaction. I want community. It doesn't have to have big numbers. But here you have the people who want you to put up their cash apps. They want to do shows, which I invited them on, but then they want to rip off people because the people trusted you. And I was like, listen, I can't do this anymore. Then you have the entourage that hangs around and wants to watch and spread gossip. I can't do that no more. This way, for me to create what I need to create, what I want to create, when I want to create it, is so much better. I am totally free. I do have my life coach, Customato, Mrs. Scurv, and a few others who add on to letting me know with feedback and suggestions and pristine world-class advice on how to move. I don't need any more than that. The bottom line is, we live in a loud world, like we said earlier, very, very loud. And they expect you to be loud. They expect you to give a teaser of what you plan on doing. Your life is your life. You are given this life as a gift. You don't have to give out pieces of your life like the Chinese man in the food court at the mall who's given pieces of sesame chicken on a toothpick to get you to come back to buy the whole plate. No, you owe no one anything at all. Nothing. In your close inner circle, yes, but it has to be the close inner circle. Because remember, people will come to you with the smiles. They want to encourage you to just tell everything. If they can get the PIN code to your ATM card, if they can get a social security number, if they can get the keys to your house to come sit up and listen to your personal business, they will do so. That's the rule of the day now. Post it, post it, post it. Seek validation. Seek applause. In nature, tell me, when you plant a seed into the ground, or a seed drops and soil covers it, and it begins to grow roots, and it begins to sprout upward, you don't see this, because in nature, things grow in silence, in darkness. When a woman gets pregnant, she may have a mate where things are unprotected and she gets pregnant. Do you think she knows at that very minute that she's pregnant? They've been going at it every night for months. She might want to get pregnant. That's okay. It all depends on your personal situation. But when that first period doesn't come, and then she says to herself, I need to get that EPT test. And she finds out that she is. The other people in her world and in her inner circle will not know until she tells them. And many women keep quiet about it. That's their business. Now, when it gets to 3 and 4 months and things start to get visible, speculation begins, and after a while, it's inevitable. But at least she had a few months to move in silence, whatever the situation may be. But nature tells you the best way. When you are growing, when you are building, it's done in silence. This house is built. It's obvious that it is. But the studio within has not been seen by too many people. Sure, a few people who helped to build it, or what little you see online, but I'm still, building it and embellishing it in silence. I'll show a little more here and there, but this is my sanctuary. This is my place away from the world where I can think and draw and write and talk and do whatever I want to do without interference. There are hardly not too many people that come by here. So it's conducive to growth. It's conducive to building. And I've never had such a clear mind. My mind has always been focused. It's always been clear, but with no interference. And I tell you, this is a gift beyond all measure, because I am so happy to be able to move toward my legacy and destiny without the interference, because I really don't post as much on a personal level. I used to do a little more, but I learned this lesson. And again, this is why I came up with that term, strategic invisibility. Giving no more than what you have to. And who says you have to give anything at all? Let folks see when things are done and completed. That's the only way to go. Plus, you avoid situations. And when envy, jealousy comes into play, it can mean death. Because you have some people that when they observe your progress, whether it be on social media, whether you know them really close or they're strangers, there are some people out here who have mental issues. They're mentally unstable, and they take your growth, your win, what you built, as a personal insult. People that don't even know you. Could you imagine some who have this kind of heart that you don't know they think this way? So this is why I take it light. I don't take it so serious. Today, I'm deciding what it is I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. I don't have to announce it. If I seek to share something, it's because strategically I share it, knowing the blowback that may come from it. And this is why I keep it as far as the topics that I talk about. And yes, I share a lot of my life from the past, but the present, I like it the way it is, unless we're really, really close. Again, I hope these words help to bring you clarity on certain levels, but the world we live in is just too loud for me. And I can be as loud as the best of them, but I choose not to. It's a waste of energy. That's energy that I can use internally to create something beautiful that when you see it, it's already done. Thanks for coming by. I always appreciate the responses, the fact that you enjoy what we do here. I wish you nothing but the best of prosperity, the best of health, peace of mind, a good meal, and a good sleep. So, take care. Look out for the next one. And as always, as I say, I'm going to have to make a banner for this. Go to landscurvx.com, put in your email address, and you'll receive all of these videos, all of the articles, all of the artwork, and all of the work that we do, no matter what it may be. Everything under one roof without these social media platforms blocking our ability to have a close, intimate relationship and communication. And share it. Let others come on in, landscurvx.com, put the email address in. I'll keep you entertained and informed and mentally stimulated, because that's what I do. Much love to you all. Lance Scurv out. On to the next one. Peace.